Players fuck up. Players fuck up all the time. I was pissed. This nigga, bro, players fuck up. Players fuck up. That's what happened.
All right, so this weekend we faced off against the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. And I got to tell you firsthand, listen, that's a long ride back to Maryland following the loss. Boy, that's a long ride, right? But I went to the tailgate, met some people. They were cool. They had some good food. I'll get into that part a little bit later, right? After following the game and different things that I heard and that I saw, I was really stuck trying to figure out what angle I was going to take in this video. I didn't know which way to go with it. And the way I'll go with it's kind of like this. To be honest, a lot of the things that I saw are easily fixable. But at the same time, the fact that it's happening in the fourth game is also concerning. Because if I know, then I know the team knows that they came into this game 1-2, going up against a team that was 3-1. A week after the Virginia State had just lost, Virginia Union had just lost. So going down to Winston-Salem, winning this game, going 2-2, would have really put them in a good position to make a run to Salem. So if I know that, I know the team knew that. I know the coaching staff knew that. The issue is, it just, watching the game in person, I gotta be honest, it seems as if everybody, I'm talking about from the top down, it seems as if everybody was unprepared for the moment. And we can start, if you want to, with the starting quarterback putting himself in a position where he is unable to start this game following the best game of his young career. Not being ready for the moment. You can't place yourself in a position to where you're not able to start this game, a game of this magnitude, a game of this importance. You can't do that. But that's what happened. And on top of that, even with that happening, you still have Jenkins, you still have Morse. Two guys who had extensive amounts of playing time last year and who both had different points in times where they played well last year. But for whatever reason, they come into this season and I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if they're gun shy, if they're rattled, if they're afraid to make a mistake, but they really had issues letting the ball go. Honestly, I think part of the issue with Morse is size. I honestly believe that Morse, at his height, has issues sometimes seeing receivers, seeing down the field, seeing past the line. Like this one particular play right here. To me, it seems as if he cannot see this receiver. Because this guy is wide open. I mean wide open for a long time. I honestly don't think at his height he was able to see this guy. I think that's part of the issue. I mean, don't get me wrong, overall, he seems to be a bit gun shy. The only times that I really saw him let the ball rip were in the 2 free plays that we had. For the most of the time outside of that, it just seemed like he was very hesitant to let the ball go. I don't know if that's, being gun shy or if he just truly couldn't see. Because, he's not a tall guy. Now, with Jenkins, I'm not sure I don't know what's going on there. But, and really this started with him, I think, probably the Livingstone game. Had a tough time against Livingstone last year. Then it kind of got worse against Virginia Union, and then that was pretty much it for the season at that point. But it just seems as if he has not recovered. I think it's just probably a confidence thing. I don't think he's regained his confidence since what happened last season. So that's another issue, right? You have the true sophomore who played the best game of his career, CIAA Rookie of the Week, places himself in a position where he can't start this game. And then you have the 2 returning quarterbacks who both had good stretches last year, but for whatever reason, it seems as if, at least from what we saw yesterday, it seems as if there has not been any progression. You got a whole offseason. You would think that guys that played well at times would be itching and scratching for the next opportunity to get into the game and to show that they should be playing more or that they should be the starter. But that's not how things went. You got to look at a lot of different things as to how guys, not only did they not progress, they looked as if they regressed. That's an issue. That's an issue. But the biggest issue, don't get me wrong, the quarterback play and the quarterback issues and who was available and who wasn't and when they were available, that was a big problem yesterday, right? Self-inflicted problems, right? But the biggest issue that I saw yesterday, by far, was the defense, particularly the secondary. That was bad. And, watching the game real time, I wasn't really sure what went wrong. Because there were guys running free wide open all game. There was actually, the score could have been worse. There was a wide open touchdown that was dropped. And if we're going to be real, this is not the first time that's happened. There's been instances in other games where guys somehow are wide open. Or we catch a break and the guy got butterfingers, he can't catch the ball. This is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first game this has happened. This is the worst that it's looked in terms of this many times in one game. But, and listen, you're not going to confuse me with John Gruden or anybody like that that's really has in-depth knowledge of the game and can really break the game down. You're not going to confuse me with one of those people. But I do have some film here. I have 2 plays in particular that when I'm looking at it, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what the coverage is supposed to be. I don't know. But what I do know is it's not supposed to look like this. And how do I know? Because there's no way you design a defense to where the receiver can run straight down the field untouched, wide open for a ball down the field. So I know that's not what was designed to happen. So I know something went wrong. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know who went wrong, but I know something went wrong for sure. We have 2 plays here. On the first one, and I'm going to put all of these at the end and replay them multiple times just so you can see what I'm talking about. But on the first one, this individual for Winston-Salem State literally runs straight down the field. There is because I'm thinking in real time. Was there a double move? Did somebody fall? Like, was it a pick play? And no, none of that happened on any of these plays. In both plays, but let me stick to this one. In this particular play, the receiver ran straight down the field. There's a guy who seems as if he picks him up and then he passes him off, right? The issue is he passes him off to nobody. And that happened quite a few times. Receivers are being passed off to no one. Once again, I'm not a film expert, but looking at what I saw, it seemed as if you have some guys playing man and some guys playing zone in the same play. Or it seems as if guys don't know their assignment. Guys don't know the coverages. Guys don't know where they're supposed to be. Because you got guys passing receivers off to nobody, and then you got guys covering nobody. Then you got two guys on one guy and one guy wide open. This is happening all day. I mean, seriously, look at this again. He just ran straight down the field, untouched. How does that happen? That's somebody's assignment. What's going on? Like, yes, and this is why I say top down. Yes, this is player execution, but it also has to, like, some of this has to be coaching. It has to be. Like I said, this is not the first game this has happened. This is just the first game where it's happened this many times. Like, I don't know if it's communication. I don't know, but I know it's not supposed to be that. Then we look at the second one. You have the two receivers. The outside goes inside, the inside goes outside. The outside receiver is picked up. The inside receiver that goes outside is, once again, passed off to nobody. He's wide open. So what do you have? You if you look at the end of the play, you have a couple of guys guarding someone one-on-one. You have one guy being guarded by two guys, and then you have one guy guarding nobody and a wide open receiver. I'm not like, in theory, this is a simple fix, in theory. But at the same time, this is the fourth game. How is this happening in the fourth game? How don't guys know their assignments in the fourth game? Like, is it being communicated effectively? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I know it's not supposed to be that. Because if you look at the overall stats, we ran the ball well. Again, they ran it well as well, but a lot of that comes with their being up, so they're just running it. But still, yeah, we ran the ball well. Like, and that's the sad part. Seeing that team up close, it's going to sound like I'm hating, but I'm not. Just seeing that team up close, I wasn't impressed. Just being honest. I don't think they're that good defensively. I don't think they're that good offensively. I really don't. I didn't see them putting together a whole bunch of long drives. I didn't see a whole lot of accurate pinpoint passes. I didn't see any of that. What I saw was Bowie State not knowing what they're supposed to be doing. I saw Bowie State being lost out there and them taking advantage of it. That's what I saw. I saw Bowie State playing musical chairs at the quarterback position, not being able to set up a rhythm, and they taking advantage of that. That's what I saw. I saw a team take advantage of Bowie State not knowing what the hell they were doing out there. That's what I saw. You know, once again, in my opinion, you have a guy who I don't think was able to see over top of the line. That hindered his ability to get the ball downfield. Then you have a guy that had the best game of his young career, who unfortunately was in a position where he was not able to start. But that was the interesting part. 16 was unable to start. I forget his name, but 16 was unable to start. But the moment he came in, you saw back-to-back completions. Then, yes, he did throw the interception. He did. But honestly, I felt as though they should have stuck with him just because you saw the difference in the passing game when he was in the game automatically. But once again, he did throw that interception. And when you combine that with whatever caused him to not start in the first place, they're probably like, yeah, you know what, go sit down. So I can understand that. But once again, self-inflicted. You got the quarterback that's hot, that's in the rhythm, not able to start, not able to play the majority of the game. And even with that, still had the only passing touchdown and the most passing yards. It's unfortunate that just my personal opinion, from the top down, not ready. On that long 5+ hour ride back, I was just thinking, you know what? The Damian Wilson era is over, and it's been over. This is the Kyle Jackson era. And these in the last 6 games of the season are going to say a lot. We're going to be looking at this, and we got to figure it out. Is Bowie State still a contender for CIAA championships, right? I'm not talking about, the D2 playoffs and making it to the second. I'm not talking about that, right? Because I understand, it's only the 3rd year of his coaching career. So I understand that. So I'll take that off the table. But this year, this is year 3. This is the year where, hey, do we still contend for CIAA championships? Do we? Can we still expect to have winning seasons? Can we expect to beat good teams? Because if you look at last year, the 6 wins were Delaware State, who had a very bad year last year. Bluefield, which, come on. Lincoln, which was decent, but, man, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but Lincoln looks terrible this year. They haven't won a game. But Lincoln was one of our wins. So we had Bluefield, Delaware State, Lincoln, Shaw, Elizabeth City, and St. Aug's. We had 6 wins. None of our wins came against teams that had winning records last year. And when it came to the main competition, Davenport, Virginia State, Virginia Union, what do we do? So this year's going to say a lot. Are we still a winning program? Are we still contending for CIAA championships? Can we expect to beat good teams? Teams with winning records, contenders in the conference? We're going to find out. Because we got Fayetteville State next weekend. In a must-win game. And Fayetteville just got spanked by Virginia State. Virginia State, who just lost to the team we just lost to. Listen, this is a must-win game. We got to have the players in the game who give us the best opportunity to win, which means they have to make sure they put themselves in a position to be available. And then we got to make sure coaches and players execute a game plan that puts players in the right positions to make plays on offense and defense. So we're gonna find out real soon what's going on. And shout out to those people in Winston-Salem. They were cool people, fun people, good hosts. I had chicken, I had fish, I had some Jello shot. Man, they showed me love. It was a good time outside of what we put out there on the field. Yeah, man. Listen, 1-3 On the road against Fayetteville State next week. Then I think after Fayetteville State is Virginia State for their homecoming. So we're going to learn something in these next 2 games. Matter of fact, 1 week at a time. We're going to learn something next Saturday against Fayetteville State. We're going to learn a whole lot. So we're going to see. My whole thing is if a team beats Bowie State, I want to at least be able to say, yeah, you know what? They matched up man to man. They were just better. I would hope that happens as opposed to, oh, man, that dude was wide open running down the field. Play after play after play. But, yeah, man, we'll see. We're going to see real soon.